Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Focus for Football podcasts. Today, I'm joined with Callum, Fandens manager. You all right, Cal?
You all right, mate? Thanks for having me again.
No worries. Appreciate you coming on. Today, we're going to go through 15 questions that the fans want to know, and we're going to see your opinions on each one. They're all opinionated, so your views might be different to others, but we'll just see how it goes.
Not sure they will be.
So, first question. Who's going to be the top goal scorer in the Premier League this season?
At the start of the season, I would have said Salah or Kane, but you can't look anywhere other than Haaland now, can you? 9 goals in the first 5 games.
Yeah, fair enough.
Can't look anywhere other than Haaland.
Everyone mocks me at the moment because I said Mitrovic, and I stand by it.
Mitrovic, I know they've played some big teams at Fulham at the minute, but I just don't think he'll keep it going all the way through the season. Kane hasn't been scoring, Son, Salah, Nunez he's only played a game and a half basically. Ronaldo, if he starts playing, there's other players which still not found their form, whereas Mitrovic has found form. I just don't think he'll keep it going with a Fulham team who's more than likely going to be near the bottom of the table come the end of the season. So
Yeah.
To me, it's Haaland. I can't. 9 goals already. Yeah, realistically, they haven't played anyone big yet. They struggled against Newcastle, but he'll punish these lower teams, won't he? Like he's done already.
Yeah, fair enough. Question 2. Which 3 teams are getting relegated this season?
Oh, God, this one's a tricky one. I think there's 2 which I think will just go down, and then there's 1 which controversial. So I think Bournemouth are going to go down. Having sacked them, I think it was harsh sacking Scott Parker after the 4 games he started with. That's very harsh.
Yeah,
but they're going to go. Who else do I think is going to go down? I think Fulham will go. I think they'll be tricky to beat, but when it comes to playing against the lower league teams, I think they could struggle. I just got a feeling. And then the controversial one is Leicester.
Ooh.
I watched them yesterday, and they're a shambles at the minute.
Yeah, I wouldn't rule Leicester out going down, to be honest.
They're an absolute shambles. Watched them yesterday against United, and United are picking up a bit of form now, fair enough, but they didn't break stride. United.
Yeah. To be fair, since what they've done to Liverpool, I know it was only like a week ago or something, but ever since they've looked like a solid team.
Yeah. I mean, they've got players coming in United now, but I just think yesterday they didn't have to break stride. They didn't. De Gea didn't have to make many saves. Just didn't have to do a lot. I think I think they must have brought 1 or 2 players in. They've lost their best centre back. They were lucky to keep Maddison. I think I'm surprised Maddison stayed. I think he gets into most teams in the league, to be honest.
Yeah.
But they've kept him now. Vardy's obviously there, but again, they're not scoring.
Yeah.
They need to. They need to pick up where they've left off the last couple of seasons.
Yeah.
Challenging Europe, but the minute I just can't see it. So Leicester's my controversial one.
I would argue that's not the controversial one. I would argue Fulham would be. I think it's really harsh on Fulham now. I think they'll finish mid.
I wouldn't be surprised if they finish mid-table, just from the start they've had. But, they call Fulham the yo-yo team, don't they?
Yeah.
So I think that could get, they brought in quite a few new players again. I thought that last time they done that, they got relegated straight away. So I just think that signing all these players, again, Nottingham Forest, they could be one with 21 new players. I mean, that's something incredible, isn't it? Really,
Yeah.
It's like a whole new squad, basically.
Yeah.
But I just think that Nottingham Forest have bought well. They've signed quality all over the pitch.
Yeah.
I think they just need a couple of games to gel, and I think that Forest could finish mid-table.
Right. Okay. Right. We'll leave that one there then. Fair enough. Question 3: Who's going to finish in the top 4 and what order?
I'm a Liverpool fan, so I'm going to say Liverpool 1. I know they haven't found form yet, but it's the injuries they've had. Like, I know against United they were poor, but we've got Darwin who's back from suspension now. Still got Jota to come in. Midfield, Thiago's missing. A big player. We've just signed this Arthur, which could be a good signing. I think he's a Thiago type player.
Yeah.
Our centre backs, Gomez, he's too injury prone and he doesn't look sharp. I think Liverpool are going to be 1. Liverpool and City 1 and 2. It could be either way, but I think that's your 1 and 2. 3, I'm going Arsenal. I think the signings they've made have improved everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's just been a massive lift for them. I mean, they started with 5 wins from 5, and I can't remember the last time Arsenal done that. But again, they haven't really played a big team yet, which, the top 6 battling against each other, that'll be the big one. And we'll see how Arsenal can compete against these big teams. I mean, I'm sure they've got United or Chelsea. No, the United Sunday they've got. So again, big test for them. And then 4, I think Spurs.
Ooh.
Again, Conte has brought in good players that seem to know what they need to be doing.
Yeah. To be fair, I'm a Chelsea fan, but I've got the same top 4 as you in a different order. So I personally, massive controversy. I think Arsenal win the league. And I'm not just saying that because of their current form. I think
that's a big shout.
It's a big shout, and we'll look back at this in a year's time and laugh at me. But until then, I think it's going to be Arsenal first, City second, Liverpool third, Spurs fourth.
I just think Chelsea lost to Southampton the other day. Again, I've watched a couple of Chelsea games, and they do not look very good at the minute. And they've just signed Fofana and Aubameyang, but what Aubameyang are you getting? Are you going to get the Aubameyang that started at Arsenal, or are you going to get the one which finished at Arsenal? Fofana is very injury prone. He's only just coming back from injury himself. So with Chelsea, it's one of them. And United, they've strengthened, but I don't think they're good enough overall to push that top 4.
Yeah.
I think he needs a couple of years. I mean, they've spent 250 odd million, so they should be up there really, but he plays a different way to what they've been playing the last couple of years, and I think that it's going to be tough for them to compete all year. Again, they played well against Liverpool this weekend against a team which is top of the league, won 5 out of 5. That's going to be where you see where United are at, really.
Yeah. I think United started on bad form, but I don't think they won't finish top 6, in my opinion.
No, I think if going off the start, you'd have. I had them finishing mid-table, but they've picked up now. I think that game against Liverpool was massive for them.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I think for Liverpool's point of view, it was the wrong time to play United.
Yeah.
Because they just got battered 4-0 against Brentford. It was the wrong time for them to play. with the injuries Liverpool had as well. And then it was the same again the game after, where it was the wrong time to play Liverpool for Bournemouth. But that's football. I don't think United and Chelsea make top four this year.
No. Fair enough. Question 4. Who's the most overrated player in the Premier League?
Overrated player. See, there's 2, which I've got. Jorginho, I don't know why people rate him, but
I agree with that.
Well, great. I've got 2 United players which I don't get. Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm not just saying that because I am a Liverpool fan. I generally think they are so overrated. Fernandes started brilliant at United, but he just, I don't know what it is. He just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah.
Like, the stuff he does on the pitch is, I think it's the diving which gets me. Like, you can touch him and then he goes down, and I just think he's overrated. I think there's better players that United could sign that could play instead of him.
Like Maddison.
Christian Eriksen's been doing well. You could, Casemiro could start, and then you move Eriksen forward.
Yeah. It's not a bad shout.
Eriksen's been the one that's been playing full 90 minutes for them so far.
Yeah.
Been playing well.
Fair enough. Yeah, I won't argue with that. Fair enough. Most underrated player.
Underrated. It's a tricky one, this. Because there's quite a few underrated players, isn't there? I'm trying to think of lower. Oh, Trossard from Brighton.
Yeah.
I think that he could be a player which could push into a couple of the top teams. I mean, as a winger, I don't think he's going to get in for Liverpool and City on the wings because they're just stacked there. But United, I'd rather have him over Elanga. I'd rather have him over Arsenal. I don't think he gets in Arsenal's front 3 either because they're young and
Yeah.
very good. But Chelsea, he seems to play Mount on the wing. Mount's not a winger.
Yeah.
Mount's a player which he's box to box. I think he's a box to box midfielder.
Yeah.
But yeah, Trossard I'd go with.
It's interesting that my answer to that was Grob. He's also
yeah.
I think he's massive.
He started the season well, isn't he?
Yeah.
He started the season well.
He ended last season well as well.
Yeah, because I know he scored 2 against United on the first game, didn't he?
Yeah. He's doing pretty well.
Yeah, it's good. Good shout, that one.
Biggest future star
in the Premier League or just in football?
Premier League.
Again, being a Liverpool fan, I've got it. The way that they've started the season, I've got to say Harvey Elliott. The way he started the season, last season. He started unbelievable. He was playing in the midfield. Bearing in mind, he played on the wing for Blackburn on loan the year before. Got in the team of the year, was scoring, assisting. Coming back to Liverpool, and he was starting centre midfield over the likes of Henderson. Yeah. And then he broke his ankle. So for him to get back where he is now, and again, I know Liverpool have got injuries, but I think injuries aside, I think he still starts for Liverpool at the minute.
Yeah, I'd back that. I think especially considering what happened to him, for him to come back at the start of this season and do what he's done.
I think that if he keeps playing the way he's playing now, and he can stay in the starting 11 for Liverpool, I think he could push his way into the World Cup squad.
Yeah,
as one of the the last choices. I mean, if you're talking world star around Europe, playing in Europe, I'd go Bellingham.
Yeah.
I think he's just something else for an 18-year-old lad. He's unbelievable.
He's going to end up at Bayern Munich. I can already see it happening.
Oh, Liverpool next year.
Well, we'll see on that one. I reckon Bayern.
I'm telling you now, he will be at Liverpool next year. Klopp loves him.
We'll see. We'll come back to this next year.
Yeah, because if they didn't get rid of Haaland, Bellingham would be at Liverpool this year. Would have been there this year. But from what I've read, Dortmund want Keita, so they can use that in a deal breaker. You could say.
He's an underrated player himself, Keita.
No, don't rate him at all.
I think he is half decent.
No, he's too injury prone. He'll have one good game and then he's injured for 15. Then he'll have one good come back, play a couple of games poorly, have one good game and then he's injured again.
Yeah.
I've been calling for us to sell him all summer, and they didn't. So I was quite gutted by that.
Next question: biggest shock, top 16.
Big shock to finish in the top 6.
Yeah,
Newcastle.
Oh, I said that.
Newcastle I think they can. They were unlucky against Liverpool, and I'm seeing everywhere that Liverpool cheated against them, but they didn't. Newcastle done it themselves.
Yeah.
With the time wasting they were doing, whether it's Pope or Joelinton, Lascelles, they were all going down injured. The refs don't, and like you say, it's a minimum of 5 minutes, not the maximum. But I watched them against City, and they battered City.
Yeah,
City were so lucky to get anything out of that game, but I just think Newcastle this year could be very, very. I think they could end up pushing for the top 4.
Yeah,
I think that 4th spot is gonna. I think third from 3rd to 7th is going to be very tight.
Yeah, I think Newcastle season will all depend on injuries. If they can keep their key players out of injury.
Yeah, they've signed this Isaac now. It's a great signing for him. He's quick. He can finish. I think he could be a star in the making for him. Be a player which could be there for a long time. But they haven't got European football, which is why I think that they could end up in the pushing for the top 4, because I don't think they'll care about. Well, obviously they'll want to win a domestic cup, but I think for Eddie Howe, with the money that they've spent and the money that they've got, they'll want to be in Europe.
They want a long-term reward, don't they?
Exactly. So I think Newcastle.
Fair enough. What's your most controversial opinion in the Premier League?
Most controversial opinion. This is one that's going to be a very controversial. Pep Guardiola wouldn't be half the manager he was if he was managing a mid-table team, if he didn't have the money behind him.
Ouch. We're going to leave it on that.
Well, he was at Barcelona, loads of money, already had the best team in the world. Then went to Bayern Munich again, had money, the best team in the league. Didn't win the Champions League with it. Then he's come to City and he's taken over the best team in the league. Money behind him, spent, I think, he spent £1 billion, I think, now, hasn't he? Spent about £1 billion. Hasn't won the Champions League. Could you put him at a, let's say, if Pep Guardiola went and managed, I'm trying to think of like a team
Villa.
that hasn't, a team like Villa, do you think that he pushes to the top 4?
No.
You put, Conte's proved it. He's gone to Spurs, who were struggling to get Europe, and he's done what he's done. Klopp, when he took over Liverpool finished 8th. He's taken them to winning every trophy that there is to win.
Yeah.
By not spending £1 billion, bringing in players and turning them into world stars.
Yeah.
I don't think if it was the other way round and Guardiola took over Liverpool at that stage in the career, I don't think Liverpool are where they are now.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, he is one of the best around, but when it comes to like, if he doesn't go to like his next move is probably PSG or one of the Milans that are winning leagues every season. He wouldn't go to, say, Juventus, who are at the minute struggling. He wouldn't go to Juventus because they're struggling.
Yeah.
There's a reason why he's only ever finished in the top 3 as a manager in the league, because he only goes to teams which have the financial backing that he needs.
Yeah, fair enough. Not arguing that one. Interesting. I watched a video the other day, and someone said a controversial opinion on like football, and he said Pele was overrated, and it was like how? And he was like, he scored 1,000 goals against who?
See, again, I can't comment on that because it's well out of my league. I've never really seen them. So to me, like to the older generation, Pele probably is the best, Pele and Maradona. But obviously for our generation now, it's Ronaldo and Messi, because they're the players that are at the top of, we've seen what they've done.
Yeah.
But from what I've read and seen about Pele, he could do some magical stuff for the football, but he did play in Brazil all his career.
Yeah.
But again, I can't comment on that because I wasn't around when he played, really.
Fair enough. Let me just find the next set of questions. Right. 1-word answers for these.
1 word.
Yeah. I just want a straight answer, no explanation. You're just going to throw an answer out, okay?
Okay.
Best goalkeeper in the Premier League.
What, the best keeper?
Best goalkeeper.
Alisson.
Fair enough. Worst goalkeeper in the Premier League.
Worst keeper. That's a tricky one, that. Very tricky. I don't know who the Bournemouth keeper is. Is it Travers?
Yeah.
I'll just go in. Conceded 9 against Liverpool.
Yeah, fair enough. Who's finishing dead mid-table? Number 10.
West Ham.
Okay, interesting. Best manager in the Premier League.
Klopp.
Best ground.
I'll go Newcastle.
Okay.
That's on atmosphere.
Yeah, fair enough. Old player, but still got it.
When we say old, how old are we talking now?
30 plus.
30 plus.
Or around 30 plus.
Yeah. Oh, I'll have to go Van Dijk. He's 30.
That would have been my answer. Final question, the most difficult one. I want an answer straight away. You ready?
Okay.
Messi or Ronaldo?
Can I give an explanation on it? This one.
Yes, go on. Messi or Ronaldo?
I say Ronaldo. I think Messi's a better player, but Ronaldo has done it in like more leagues.
Yeah.
Like that if Messi was to have gone to the league, French league last year, done mint, or come to a different league and done mint, I'd say Messi, because I think Messi is a better player. But I always say Ronaldo because he's done it in the Prem, which is the trickiest league in the world. He was mid-30s, mid to late 30s last year, and he scored like 17 league goals in a team, in a United team, which were awful.
Yeah.
And he's done it, obviously in the Italian league. He's done it in the Spanish league. That's the only reason I say Ronaldo, but I think Messi is a better actual player.
Yeah. I think if the only way it'll ever be decided is if Messi comes to the Premier League and does something.
He has to come to the Premier League now, though. I mean, no one can say that he wouldn't do it in the Prem, because Messi in the Champions League against English teams has scored like nearly 30 goals.
Yeah.
In about 30 games or 38 games. So that's basically saying in a season against the best teams in the Prem, Messi would nearly score 30 goals. And that's just playing against your Arsenals, your Liverpools, United, City, Chelsea, Spurs. That's just playing against them teams, not your Nottingham Forest, your Bournemouths, your Fulhams, your Villas, West Hams. I mean, because Messi a couple of years ago against teams like that, if he'd come to the Prem, it would have been scary.
Yeah.
It'd be like what Haaland is doing to those teams now.
Yeah. That's it. No, I think if he leaves it any longer, it's not going to do him any favours coming to the Prem, because I think he started well this year in the French league. I do try and keep up with it, but he's got to come at the end of this season. He had his chance a couple of years ago to go to City, but didn't. And it's one of I can only see him going back to Barca to finish his career. I don't think he'll come to the Prem, but that's something which you just got to wait and see with Messi. Yeah, I mean, I'd love him to come to the Prem even just for a season. Yeah, just to sort of be there.
Yeah, just see what he can do. I mean, like I said, Ronaldo's done it at 37, 38. Zlatan done it at around that age as well. So I think if Messi wants to be classed as above Ronaldo, I think he's got to come. Even just a year, just give a team a year in the Prem.
Yeah, I agree with that. Right, That is your hot spot over. Appreciate you answering all them, Cal.
That's what I think. Thanks for having me. There is some difficult ones. I mean, still thinking of a couple of them and my answer. But especially that worst keeper. I haven't really seen a lot of you this season yet. 5 games in, I've literally only seen one keeper or 2 keepers make absolute howlers, and they're 2 of the best keepers in the league. And that's De Gea and Mendy. I haven't seen anyone else have a howl. I understand that the Bournemouth keeper conceded 9, but Dean Henderson conceded 6 the other day to City.
Yeah.
And you're not going to class him as one of the worst in the league, are you? So, I think with that, it's very, very...
All depends who you got in front of you as well, doesn't it?
Well, exactly. I mean, but Bournemouth played against Liverpool at the complete wrong time. They hadn't had a win. They'd just come off the back of losing to a derby against United.
Yeah.
And they were hungry. I mean, they were just lucky that Salah wasn't on it. Otherwise, it could have probably been more.
Yeah.
But Dean Henderson played against City, and who Haaland's just on fire, and City are just on fire, really, aren't they?
Yeah. It's just how they keep going now.
One with the keeper.
Right. Appreciate you coming on, Cal.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Nice one. Cheers, mate. Take care.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much.
Bye.